Welcome back to Outside the Ropes. I'm your host of Outside the Ropes, as always, Matthew Moore. Welcome back to another week of Outside the Ropes. Hope you're all doing very well out there, guys. Thank you very much once again for tuning in to us on YouTube. Also on our Facebook account, you can watch the video here as well, and also on iTunes and Speaker as well. So if you're listening to us through any of those sources, a big hello and thanks for tuning in. Also our website, outsidetheropesradio.com. Got some great news and also some great topics on today's podcast. Some shocking news over the last few days since we were last on the air last Wednesday. Some shocking TNA news as well, which big things have happened in TNA over the last week or so, guys, since we were last here on the show. We've got some news regarding current WWE superstar contracts. Also previewing the big event coming up this Saturday night from Japan, or early hours of early Sunday morning here in the UK. The big event on the WWE Network all the way from Japan. And we've got more news and scoops as well. So let's get straight into it, guys. Hope you're doing very well today. We've had some great tweets and emails from you. We're going to hopefully try and get through some as well before we get off the air here tonight. So before we go any further, I want to give a shout out to our friends and partners of Outside the Ropes as always. If you're horror historians of wrestling like myself and everybody here is part of this show, or even if you're new to professional wrestling and you want to go back and check all the history and obviously all the past of wrestling, whether it be WCW, ECW, WWF, WWE, or any other promotion, Wrestling's Past is a location. Don't forget to check out their website, wrestlingspast.blogspot.co.uk, and also on Twitter at Wrestling's Past. So any historians out there of wrestling, don't forget to check out our good friends at Wrestling's Past. Okay, guys, let's get straight into it. Well, let's get straight into it. We're actually going to start tonight with some TNA news, guys. Last week on Impact, surprise, we had a person turn up on Impact. Well, two people turn up on Impact, which shocked me and shocked the world, basically. We had the return of Jeff Jarrett. That's right, Jeff Jarrett returned to TNA Impact Wrestling to announce, obviously, you know, he was in the ring with his wife, Karen Jarrett, which is very surprised to see her too. They appeared in Global Force Wrestling attire, well, I say attire, t-shirt, to announce that Jeff Jarrett was returning to the ring for TNA Slammiversary this past Sunday in the King of the Mountain match. Now, if you haven't watched the event from last Sunday, I've watched bits and pieces of it. I watched the King of the Mountain match where Jeff Jarrett came out on top. He won the King of the Mountain match. Now, for what we hear, guys, now we've been talking about this for the last lot of weeks, that TNA are on the verge of going down, but they've managed to redeem themselves. We've heard all this latest news that we've been hearing in the last few days that more talent have left, but this is because the reason for all this happening is the following. We've heard now that TNA are going to be doing an angle with Global Force Wrestling invading Impact Wrestling. Now, is this a last-ditch effort for TNA to try and get more ratings? Maybe it is, I don't know. But we've heard in the last few days that more talent has left the company. For example, Austin Aries and Magnus, and a couple more names have popped up in the news too as well. Now, this angle will be invading Global Force Wrestling and basically invading TNA. So basically like a cross promotion, sort of like a bit like the invasion angle from back in 2001. But I hope it's really done well, because there's a lot of talent, as you know, from Global Force Wrestling, are big names. So it's going to be interesting to see over the next few weeks exactly what they're going to do with this angle. Now, we've been reading more into the stories, and we've heard more stories from our sources and stuff, that this is going to be an angle with the talent who have left TNA or going to be on the Global Force Wrestling side. For example, they've announced that Magnus is part of the roster. There's going to be some great talent on this Global Force Wrestling roster. As you know, they announced that they're going to be doing TV tapings in Las Vegas. But we hear now that this is going to be an angle with TNA. Now, Global Force Wrestling posted a video on their YouTube channel of Jeff Jarrett behind the scenes with Dixie Carter and stuff like that. So Jeff Jarrett coming back to TNA with Global Force Wrestling, and as he said in his promo last Wednesday night on Impact, to finish off some unfinished business and leave the company the way he should have wanted to leave it, on his own terms. Now, this is going to be a really interesting angle, especially if it's going to be an invasion angle, because every wrestling fan loves an invasion angle from another promotion. But hopefully this is booked well and done properly, and this boosts the ratings for TNA, and turns it around and basically tries to get TNA back up there again, and most importantly give Global Force Wrestling more promotion as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing this in the next coming weeks, guys. I was shocked to see when Jeff Jarrett appeared back in Impact, especially after what happened the last time where he was fired, and even Karen Jarrett herself mentioned it, where he was fired in the ring, or he was fired backstage at a taping by Sting. Interesting. But yes, TNA and Global Force Wrestling working together, that's going to be an interesting thing over the next coming weeks, which I'll be tuning in to watch. This would be me trying to encourage people to get back into watching Impact Wrestling, and obviously get to know the Global Force Wrestling brand as well. So it's going to be really, really good over the next coming weeks. Guys, moving away from TNA, as much as it is exciting, because we could talk about TNA all night, because it's great to see that TNA are starting to turn around a wee bit. Hopefully this is for the better. Monday Night Raw from past Monday, we had no Brock Lesnar on Raw. We basically had a dominant Authority night. Where could we start? The Authority being given iPhone watches at the start of the night, and a new car, and Kane being given a holiday to Hawaii, and Jesus Christ, what's going on now at the Authority? It basically was an Authority dominant Raw. But the thing that stood out the most for Raw for me was it's hard to believe, I can't believe I'm saying this now again, another great John Cena match. John Cena versus Cesaro on Raw for the United States title in the US Open Challenge. Unbelievable match, guys. Again, Cena delivers another good match with other talent, apart from Kevin Owens. But the most thing controversial talking about is, did Cesaro give him the double bird live on the TV? We also seen what we all thought was Cesaro giving John Cena the double middle finger during the match itself. But if you look closely at it, he was actually using the other finger beside that. But could that be still classed as giving him the finger? A lot of fans have been asking us about that. But yes, that's a bit of a controversial part of that, especially with it being a PG show now. But yeah, great match. Strange. Kevin Owens come out, and we all thought Kevin Owens was going to be the challenger for the title, and then he came out and introduced Cesaro, and Cesaro sort of came in and he was about to beat him, and he interfered. But the whole part of the story was that the only person to beat Cena for the title is going to be Kevin Owens. More on Kevin Owens shortly. We'll talk about this show coming up in Japan. But Raw as a whole, guys, was good. It wasn't a bad show itself, but as I said, they're very dominant with the Authority. But we all know that this coming Saturday, this Saturday night, sorry I couldn't speak. You have to excuse me tonight, guys. I've got a bit of a blocked ear. I was actually out this afternoon going for a swim, and I've actually got a blocked ear, so I'm finding it very hard to hear. Not that you needed to know that, but there you are. But yeah, this Saturday night, guys, the special show from Japan, which is going to be a great show to watch. So a great card actually lined up for this Saturday night. I'll actually go through the card for you. I have the card here. Obviously, it's been the show itself is being entitled WWE's Beast in the East Special, which will feature Brock Lesnar. But we actually hear Paul Heyman will be traveling with Brock Lesnar this Saturday night, which is very strange. But the matches for the card itself are as follows, and the matches will be standing out for me the most. And a lot of people are still talking about this, saying that this is actually going to be a title change. Kevin Owens defending the NXT title against Finn Balor. A lot of people are saying that Finn Balor is going to win the title. Number one, because Kevin Owens is going to be on the main roster, and obviously he can't be on NXT and the main roster all the time. And obviously with it being in Japan, Finn Balor is quite popular in Japan, as you know, from his Japanese career. This is going to be interesting. Brock Lesnar is due to schedule to fight Kofi Kingston. This is going to be an absolute annihilating. Dolph Ziggler and John Cena is advertised to take on Kane and King Barrett. Also, this is going to be a very good match. Neville is scheduled to fight and face a returning Chris Jericho. That's going to be interesting. Nikki versus Paige versus Naomi for the WWE Divas Championship. I really want to see Paige win the title, honestly. Big E and Xavier Woods versus the Lucha Dragons. And finally, Diego versus Cesaro. A bit of a mixture of a card there, guys. Especially the Brock Lesnar and Kofi Kingston match. It's going to be brutal. But don't forget to check into that show this coming Saturday. Well, it'll be early Sunday morning. I think it's round about maybe 10 a.m. UK time. I think. You all know you've seen the adverts on YouTube, etc. But that's the show this coming, well, say Sunday. But if you miss it, obviously you get the repeat on the WWE Network. But I'm looking forward to it, especially seeing Finn Balor become the NXT champion. I'm looking forward to seeing that, hopefully. But there you go. Don't forget to check it out this Saturday night, guys. Some Tyson Kidd news for you. We did tweet out Monday night a graphic photograph that Tyson Kidd put up on his Twitter account and his Facebook account. He has had his neck surgery. The scar in the back of his neck looks, only to be him. But Tyson Kidd has had successful surgery on his neck, and he is doing really well. So we do wish Tyson Kidd all the best, and I hope he gets back in the ring as soon as possible. Also, have you not seen the video yet, guys, from this past Saturday night? WWE's live event in Boston. We had the return of The Rock. The Rock at a live event. Was I seeing things? Seriously? Jeff Jarrett turns up at TNA. The Rock's back on the WWE live event. What the hell is the world? Are we going back here to what year is this again? But yeah, The Rock turned up at a live event to do a segment with Bo Dallas. Around about a 20-minute segment. Actually, it was quite good. The full segment's available on YouTube, also WWE.com, WWE's Facebook, and we shared it on our page as well. So if you haven't saw it, go to and check it out. The Rock does a segment with Bo Dallas this past Saturday night at a live event in Boston. Also, some Shawn Michaels news today, guys. Shawn Michaels was doing a live Q&A session this past Monday night in Manchester. If you managed to get along to that there, talking to a couple of people on Twitter who actually were at that and said it was very, very good. One question in particular stood out for Shawn. He was asked about next year's WrestleMania. Shawn Michaels responded by saying he was offered a major role at WrestleMania 32 next year with it being in Texas, and Shawn Michaels apparently has turned it down. Interesting, especially with it being in Texas. Maybe time will change that, we don't know, but Shawn Michaels not being at WrestleMania next year. Bit strange. Also, guys, if you heard in the news this week as well, that Dolph Ziggler's contract is expiring very soon with WWE. A lot of people have been talking on the internet and social media, and obviously the press as well, as Dolph Ziggler leaving WWE after his contract expires. The thing that stood out for me mostly in a recent interview, saying that Dolph Ziggler would love to stay with WWE, but he'd also like to look at other projects he could do as well. For example, TV hosting, movies, other things like that. So he would love to stay and also do other projects, but only time will tell. We'll obviously keep an eye on that story for you guys and keep you posted on that right here on Outside the Ropes. Also, due to return to TV next week is Cody Rhodes, aka Stardust, or anybody else you want to know him as. But Stardust is due to return to TV this week. As we all know, Cody Rhodes lost his father a few weeks back there, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. But we hear the Stardust is due to come back to television very, very soon. But there you go. It's an interesting week for WWE with the big show coming up in Japan this Saturday as well. Speaking of announcements, one final announcement before we hit the road soon here, guys, and maybe get on to some of your emails here. Triple H made an announcement on Twitter today that he's going to be making a big announcement this Friday. Now, could this be related to SummerSlam? We hear that it is related to SummerSlam. So Triple H is making a huge announcement this coming Friday. So there you go. Interesting to see. Brilliant. Well, let's get on to some of your emails. Big thank you very much for sending your emails to outsidetheropes@yahoo.com. Also on our website, which we go into the email section, outsidetheropesradio.com. Guys, we had a couple of tweets in the other day about the website, and people were saying, why isn't the latest news on it anymore? You know, we're still trying to fix all the bugs in the website. I know it's been a lot of weeks, guys, and stuff like that, you know, but we're hopefully trying to get that up and running again. All we can do at the minute is put on the podcast and the shows, but we're trying our best to get that fixed, because it actually is starting to pee me off a lot as well. But there you go. Moving on to some of our emails you sent in over the last few days. We'll have one here from Donna asking us what's our thoughts on Tough Enough. Now we're into the second week. Donna, I'll be quite honest with you, I haven't watched Tough Enough from last night just yet. I've seen a couple of clips of it on YouTube today, which I'm going to go here later on after I do this podcast and watch the second episode of Tough Enough. But so far, it seems quite good. Can I pick a winner so far? Not really. Is there anybody there who I think is going to stand out? Can't really say right now, to be honest with you, Donald, but I'm going to keep an eye on over the next few weeks and see how it goes. But again, I really don't hope that they pick two winners and they end up like Big Andy from the last Tough Enough and they end up getting fired after a few weeks or a few months even. So thanks for your email, Donald. I'll obviously keep an eye on it over the next couple of weeks and hopefully think it's going to be a lot better. So there you go. We email in here from Robert wanting to know about the situation with Dolph Ziggler's contract. I did talk about that there. I wants to know, obviously, should he stay or should he go? What we think? Well, to be honest with you, I think he should stay because he is a top talent, and I think he should be higher up the roster than where he is. Yes, fair enough, he's a former two-time world champion, former Intercontinental champion, but I think he should be up higher on the roster because he is a good talent. He fits into that bracket with the likes of Cesaro, and then obviously before he got injured, Tyson Kidd. So yeah, I think he should stay. Yes, maybe do other things, like presenting this and presenting that and doing other things within WWE. If you haven't heard that interview with him recently, go onto YouTube and type in Dolph Ziggler interview and you'll find it through the recent posts where he talks about his contract, but I'd love to see him stay. There you are. But sure, what do I know? I'm just here to answer your questions. I've got an email in here from Thomas. Hi Thomas, hope you're doing well. Wants to know our thoughts on Samoa Joe's current situation with WWE. Do we think he's in hot water, or do you think WWE will not do anything with him injuring Tyson Kidd? To be honest with you, Thomas, I don't think WWE are going to do anything at the moment. You yourself, you've probably seen the video. Accidents do happen. I hope he's not in hot water, because I'd like to see him going far and get onto the main roster, because everybody wants to see Samoa Joe in WWE one day. I mean, yes, he wrestled a couple of dark matches back in the day and stuff, but you want to see him on the main roster competing at the highest level, because he is a great talent. But I hope he's not in hot water. I really don't. But there you go. Another one in here from Dean, wanting to know our thoughts on the upcoming show this Saturday night. Okay. I'm looking forward to it because the Japanese crowd are very interesting. I think it's going to be a great show, especially when Finn Balor makes his entrance into the arena, or Fergal Devitt as he's known for the Japanese fans. No doubt they'll probably get a Fergal Devitt chant going. But I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be an interesting audience. It's going to be an interesting broadcast. So yes, I'm looking forward to it this Saturday night. So I hope you enjoy the show as well. I have another one in here from Andrew, wanting to know our thoughts on Jeff Jarrett's return. You're all asking these questions of the things that we've already talked about tonight, honestly. Jeff Jarrett returning to TNA, great. Jeff Jarrett was one of the guys, him and his father were the one who founded the company, so it's great to see him back. Yeah, it's a good way for him to get his Global Force Wrestling brand out there. So, yeah, there you go. But there you are. Interesting one here. I knew there was going to be one of these questions coming in. I knew it. Because I used to love it when he was doing his run in TNA here for a while. But we've got one in here from Stephen wanting us to know our thoughts on the Pope returning to TNA. Unreal. I loved him when he done the Pope D'Angelo De Niro gimmick, with the money dropping from the ceiling and all. I loved that. That was a great gimmick. Absolutely loved it. But commentating with Josh Matthews? No, get him back in the ring. There you go. Before we hit the road, guys, I want to give another shout out to our friends and partners one more time before we hit the road. If you're historians of wrestling, don't forget to check out our good friends at Wrestling's Past, which is their website, which is www.wrestlingspast.blogspot.co.uk, and also on Twitter at Wrestling's Past. Guys, any more news and breaking stories happens over the next couple of days, you know where to find the news on our Facebook account. Don't forget to hit the like button if you're listening to us on Facebook here now, or you're listening to us on YouTube. Hit the like button and give us a wee subscribe to the channel as well. It does help support this show. You can find us on our website, OutsideTheRopesRadio.com, our Twitter account at Outside the Rope, and also on Facebook. Just search Outside the Ropes Wrestling Talk Show. Want to give an RB shout out to our friends as well here in Ireland, to Pro Wrestling Ulster. If you live in Ireland, you haven't checked those guys out, don't forget to check out their website, prowrestlingulster.co.uk. Also, our good friends at wrestling.ie, they've started hitting good big shows all across the country of Ireland as they hit their summer tour. Just don't forget to check out their website for ticket information, www.wrestling.ie. And also our friends at Fight Factory Pro Wrestling, Over the Top Wrestling, which we're busting to get to one of their shows. And also all the other great promotions right across Ireland as well. Guys, I know it's a short and sweet episode this week, because I'll be honest with you, I'm hard of hearing in one ear. I don't know what the hell I've done to my ear, but I can barely hear. I'm sure it probably sound horrible when I listen back whenever my ear finally decides to pop and I can hear again, because I'm just all over the show today. But I hope you are all doing really well. Thank you so much for listening to us, and the likes and the views that we got on Facebook last week was fantastic. So thank you very, very much. If you listen to us on Facebook, share us on your page, share us with your friends. Let everybody know about us. We want to get more people involved with this show. Thank you for all your emails. Thank you for all your tweets. As we always like to thank you for everything you do to support this show. So that's going to hit the road for this week. Thank you so much for tuning in once again. And I will be back here next Wednesday, same time, same place, for another episode of Outside the Ropes. So from Matthew Moore, your host, enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy the WWE special this Saturday. Enjoy SmackDown. Again, we don't give the spoilers out in this show. Enjoy SmackDown tomorrow night. Enjoy the rest of your week, guys, whatever you do. Stay in touch with us. We'd like to talk to you as much as we can. So for Matthew and everybody here at Outside the Ropes, enjoy the rest of your week, guys, and we will see you all back here next Wednesday.